Hello, I'm Tanya Gray-Thompson. I'm a Paralympic athlete and a crossbench peer. And I'm actually the second Paralympian to come into the House of Lords. I competed in track and road racing, and I competed at 5 Paralympic Games, Seoul, Barcelona, Atlanta, Sydney and Athens. And in total, I won 11 gold medals, 4 silvers and a bronze, and broke 35 world records.
Well, I had the very good fortune to compete in the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games. In my case, I rather unexpectedly found myself in the British Olympic team because although I had been running reasonably well, it wasn't until about 6 weeks out that I managed 3 times in a week to get within the Olympic qualifying time for the 200 metres. So my excitement was really much greater, because I had no real prospect of going to the Games. But the one thing I certainly found out was just how amazing the competition was.
Hi, I'm Lord Holmes of Richmond, Chris Holmes. I've been a member of the House of Lords since 2013. Before that, I was one of the directors of the London Olympic and Paralympic Games for 2012. I had a career in corporate law. And a long time ago, when filming was still in black and white, I was a Paralympic swimmer at 4 games and was lucky enough to come away with a number of gold, silver and bronze medals.
I had the privilege to cox the British rowing 8 at Moscow for the 1980 Olympics, and then in 1984 in Los Angeles. We were fortunate enough to get an Olympic silver medal, and then into the final in 84. That began a sort of long association with the Olympic movement. When I went on to become Minister for Sport, campaigned hard with the International Olympic Committee in the early 90s to make sure there was a link between the Paralympic Games and the Olympic Games, which has actually come to pass and stayed ever since. I sit on a number of International Olympic Committee commissions and was very fortunate to be chairman of the British Olympic Association from 2005 to 2012. And in charge of the selection and the leadership of Team GB at both the Beijing Olympics and London 2012. Subsequently to that, been very heavily involved with the International Olympic Committee on commission work again. And so it's been Olympics in my blood for the best part of the last 40 years.
I broke my back in 1958. And I was taken after an emergency in Swindon Accident Hospital. After 24 hours, I was transferred to the spinal unit at Stoke Mandeville. And after my period in bed, I started sport. And this was Sir Ludwig Gutmann, who was the starter of the whole of the Paraplegic Games. And then after starting with soldiers actually from Normandy, the sports movement grew, and he started the Paralympics. The first one was in 1960, and I was one of the ones who went to Rome, and we were very much a pioneering, and we had about 400 wheelchair people from all over the world, and from there it has really grown. I won one of the first gold medals for swimming, and I started my career swimming, and then I moved on to table tennis, and the next Olympics Paralympics I went to was in Tokyo in 1964.